back. Just like the communal card seems to be the only card left with the opposition when it comes to the fight against terror and larger issues, it seems the anti-Hindi card of Tamil parties has become their only weapon now, particularly ever since the Modi government first came to power and especially now once it's returned.
And it seems like tonight some politicians are slowly losing a grip on their vote bank. They've taken their divisive agenda using the language card a bit too far. Is MDMK chief Vaiko Hindi, Hindu, Rashtra Bogi against the BJP a deliberate attempt to create the North versus South divide? Or is their Hindi imposition claim the truth? Let's debate.
On the debate tonight, is there a deliberate attempt to create a North versus South divide? Anti-Hindi agitation is not new to Tamil Nadu. From blackening Hindi signboards on highways to defacing boards bearing names of metro stations in Hindi, from smearing black paint on central government office boards and taking the anti-Hindi agitation to parliament.
I've seen signboards in Thoothukudi saying Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana. I don't understand what is it. I'd like to ask you, how will a villager even in my own district, Thoothukudi, understand what this is?
Tamil parties have used it as a plank to appeal to their vote bank. But this time around, they seem to have taken it a bit too far.
So the standard has deteriorated like anything. The standard of the debates also deteriorated. The main reason for this is the imposition of Hindi.
MDMK chief Vaiko, who's fighting for political relevance, has raised the bogey with this comment.
Hindi, Hindu, Rashtra. This will divide the country in the future. I am afraid. This is my view.
But here are some facts. Hindi has never been imposed in parliament. MPs have taken oath in their mother tongue, and some have even debated in their regional language. From fear-mongering over the three-language formula to accusing the government of naming schemes only in Hindi, and now this pitch against debates in Hindi in Parliament. Is there a concerted effort to keep the language fire burning? Let's debate.
And the guests that join us on this debate number 2, we have Vivek Reddy, leader of Karnataka BJP. We have journalist Muralidharan Shivlingam, who leans towards the AIADMK. Scientist and author Anand Ranganathan joins us. We also have Ratan Sharda, A. Sarvan, spokesperson of the DMK. We have political analyst Royden Roach joining us. Also, Brinda Adige and Ranjit Keshav form part of our panel. And let me begin this debate with Vivek Reddy and A. Sarvanan. A. Sarvanan, is it really imposition of Hindi that is going to divide the country? All leaders like Vaiko who want to start this North versus South debate again, this Hindi versus non-Hindi debate again. What was the need?
See, Hindi imposition is a real danger that is facing the people who does not have Hindi as their mother tongue. Just 2 days back, postal examinations, which were supposed to be conducted in all the regional languages, was cancelled, and they said only Hindi and English will be allowed to be as languages in the postal examination. So lakhs of students or aspirants who were about to write those examinations in their regional languages were denied a chance. This is Hindi imposition. If this is not going to divide the people, tell me what else will divide. And the central government, which is supposed to work for the integrity of the country, is favoring towards Hindi. The budget The finance minister says 50 crores of money will be allotted for appointing Hindi teachers to impart the third language. What about the other languages?
Permitted to be spoken in the parliament.
The other languages?
All languages,
So,
Mr. Saravanan.
what else? And in the last 5 years, hundreds of crores of money was spent abroad to promote Hindi. What is the necessity?
No, is it really the
taxpayer
opposition
is
against
paying its
Hindi, or
money
is it
from Tamil Nadu,
is it
Andhra,
also the
Kerala?
opposition against
I
the
think-
ruling
Assam,
party?
I think-
A Saravanan, is the
Shivani-
logic that you're giving, is that logic right, Vivek Reddy?
Yes.
No,
It is
this
right.
is all political. Saravanan, we have seen how this has been used to politicize regions. And that is what is happening. We have seen it on and off. Stop playing this blame game on Hindi. See, kindly realize that in the parliament, there are a number of translators who are recruited by the central government, by the union parliament, only for the purpose of ensuring that all languages are spoken. And there is a free expression for all languages. Look at the way in which this has been a tradition since the past 70 years. It's something new. And why are you setting up this ghost of Hindi?
Yes.
Nobody has imposed Hindi. Mr. Prakash Javadekar has said that we will not impose Hindi.
That's actually the key issue, Saravanan. What
And
is
in a
the
country
imposition
like
in
ours-
parliament? Every parliamentarian is
Yes.
allowed to speak in the language that they want to speak in. You mentioned Nirmala Sitharaman, her budget speech. Did you forget that she quoted for several languages? I just want to quote, and I want to go across to Anand on this. Anand, look
Yes,
at the
Kannada,
statement made by
Tamil.
Mr. Vaiko. He says, what is there in Hindi? What literature is there? There used to be a time when our parliamentarians used to quote Milton, Keats, Shelley, Bernard Shaw and other epics in Greek, Latin. So is this Hindi opposition or is this anti-Hindi phobia? And is he stuck in some colonial mindset where he's deriding his own Hindi literature before English literature?
Yeah, good evening. Thanks very much for having me. First of all, I must say that as a Tamilian, I'm against imposition of any language. But having said that, I'm aghast by the derision of Hindi by, our Tamil politicians. It's just disgusting. And to quote Vaiko, I mean, this is the real pits, So I wish he's actually rattling off names like Shelley, Shakespeare and all that. I wish, and this is the tragedy of this country, that they all worship Dr. Ambedkar, but they don't follow him. So please give me 20 seconds. I want to quote verbatim what Dr. Ambedkar said. I wish Vaiko had said, let us follow Dr. Ambedkar. This is what Dr. Ambedkar said, and I'm quoting him. Linguistic state with its regional language as its official language may easily develop into an independent nationality. The road between an independent nationality and an independent state is very narrow. If this happens, India will cease to be a modern India and will become a medieval India consisting of a variety of states. Then he goes on to say this, and please listen to me. The only way I can think of meeting the danger is to provide in the constitution that the regional language shall not be the official language of the state. Be quiet. I'm quoting Ambedkar. Be quiet. Have some sense. Have some sense for Dr. Ambedkar.
He retook this statement. He stated this statement will not be applicable. He supported linguistic states later on. Don't you know that? Why are you misleading the entire country? Why won't you misquote Dr. Ambedkar? You're doing a great disservice to Dr.
Why would you not
Ambedkar.
let him finish though?
Saravanan, stop
why would you not let him
politicizing,
finish
first of
though?
all.
Where are
You can
your
raise your
manners?
objections
he's
later.
misquoting.
You
He's
answer first of
misquoting
all.
Dr.
What kind
Ambedkar.
of derision
But
of
will not
Hindi is
allow.
this? Why should this be acceptable in politics at all? Saravanan,
Shame on you.
are you against Hindi imposition or are you against
Yes.
Hindi itself?
Do you not-
Is there a Hindi phobia?
Do you not
that you
follow
politicians
Dr.
are trying
Ambedkar?
to
Have the
spread
guts to
across
say
the
that.
country?
The imposition.
They're okay,
We
yes.
have made that 1,000 times.
Don't
we have
be a
made that
small
clear.
towner.
So where is the
1,000 times
imposition
that
in
we are
parliament?
against
No,
imposition
let's get
of
to the
Hindi.
brass tacks.
There
Saravanan,
are-
You
explain
have
to me how
used
is
Hindi
there
as a
Hindi
political
imposition in
tool.
parliament? Let
And
Mr.
now you
Ratan
can't
Sharma
get out
also
of it.
come in. How is
Shivani,
Hindi being
because
imposed
you
in
impose
parliament?
Hindi.
Every parliamentarian
We did
can
not
speak
use
in the
this during
language
the
they want.
UPA.
It
We
is
did not
translated
use
for
this
everybody
from
else.
2004
What does he
to
mean by saying that the discourse is
2004 to
going lower because of
2014?
Hindi?
This issue
What
did
does
not
that mean?
arise.
Answer my question, Saravanan.
Yes, that question has to be asked to Mr. Vaiko. You should ask him why he had said that. We don't subscribe to that view. We are merely saying that Hindi
I'm asking
is
you,
used as a
do
tool
you
of
think
Shivani,
Dr.
they have
Ambedkar
used Hindi
oneness.
as
India
an
is not a
intoxicant
one-country. India is
in
not a
order to get
one-country.
votes.
India is a plural democracy.
They
If you want to
cannot
respect that
go
plural
ahead without
democracy,
Hindi.
You should
With
allow
the
all the
official
other
language
regional
of
languages
the
to
state
flourish.
shall be
We
Hindi.
should be allowed to
This
be
is
what
what
we
Dr.
are. We
Ambedkar
cannot
said.
change. We cannot morph
challenge
ourselves
you to
into
say Dr. Ambedkar
Hindi-speaking
is
people
wrong.
and follow that culture.
I challenge you.
Who's doing that?
He retook that
Why are you
statement.
spreading
He
fear
challenge
and
you to say
paranoia?
Dr.
Again, Vivek
Ambedkar
Reddy
was
was
wrong.
coming
Do you
in.
have the guts to
Vivek,
say so?
very quickly, because others
Stop
are
calling
also
I am
for
waiting on the
challenging
panel.
you. You don't misquote Ambedkar.
Nobody is imposing Hindi. Do not deride
You are
Dr.
imposing.
Ambedkar.
BJP
Have the
is
guts to
imposing.
say.
People against North India. But that is not what is happening in India. Mr. Sarvanan's, if you look at Mr. Sarvanan's language, every piece of his debate is against polarizing people using Hindi. I don't know why it is at all required. People of India don't want this. They are happy with the languages that they are studying. They are free to choose their languages.
People
The
of
parliament
India
has also brought in a free
want
atmosphere to
their
choose languages.
multiculturalism.
But why are you
That's the
fishing
point.
in
That's
Tamil
the point.
waters?
When has
Why
Sarvanan
can't
been
you just
forced?
admire
Sarvanan, have
India's
you been
position?
forced to use
be
Hindi ever?
accepted.
Have you been forced? Or I asked this to the panelists. I asked this to all the panelists on the debate tonight. Have they been forced
Not at
to
all.
use Hindi
But
ever?
Sarvanan wants to create
have
it.
they gone through this? Have they gone through this? Why
Because
should
they
we?
will
Why
lose their
should we
political
speak about
capital.
the fear when it
They
comes
will
to
get
Hindi?
politically
Let
bankrupt.
me
Hindi,
go
they
first
don't
to
use it.
Brinda Adige and
And what
Muralidharan
is that?
Shivalingam.
That is imposing on
Okay,
the people.
all right.
Would
When
a person
Hindi
from
is
Gujarat or
constitutionally
Maharashtra or Uttar Pradesh
prescribed
learn
as the
Malayalam or
language
Tamil?
in parliament, what is the problem? Why is Vaiko speaking today? When Hindi is constitutionally prescribed as the language of parliament, the entire business of parliament has to be done in Hindi or English. But
And there is no prevention of other languages
Just
along with
be
this.
any language. It could be any
How
language.
did he got elected to Rajya Sabha? He is a criminal who was convicted for sedition charges. So naturally he will speak to divide people.
Okay.
And we are glorifying his statement sitting here. We also forget that Ambedkar
No, we are not
recommended
glorifying it,
Sanskrit
Ratan
as the
Shah. In
national
fact, we are
language.
questioning his
Yes,
statement.
Because
we are not
rejected by
glorifying
We're
Nehru
not
and Gandhi.
glorifying it at all, but he has raised this issue. I'll give you the opportunity now, Ratan Sharda, to please tell me, where does this derision from Hindi come from? And is this going to be acceptable in our country today?
See, this is antiquated DK politics of 1950s and 60s. These are the people who are with the governments all through 60 years. Three-language formula was introduced by Nehru. Everybody expected it, accepted it. If it was not implemented properly by these political parties in the states, is BJP responsible? When Tamilians or Malayalis with their mother tongue go to other states or the world, they communicate with each other in Hindi. Where is the problem? So you should be, RS has been continuously saying that your education, primary education, should be in your mother tongue. So if they have not been able to enrich their mother tongue, if all these politicians send their children to English-speaking schools, they encourage private English schools, they go to convent schools, do not encourage mother tongue schools, who are they to speak about Tamil? Because they are the ones who are actually spoiling this rich language by not promoting it with the children. World over people learn in mother tongue. Here we want to impose English, which is spoken by 3% onto vast majority of illiterate and different language peoples. We should be saying that even now should be learning Tamil. I am fine with it. But to create division in the name of Periyar, which is a totally discredited policy, here these people are speaking as Tamilians are not Hindus. Ask Tamilians, they are Hindus.
Yes.
They are the same genes and same blood that we are. Science proves it. But here these people live in colonial legacy, are trying to talk about British theory of Dravid and Aryan divide. These are the people who are saying that we are different. Where are you different, sir?
Brinda.
Your gods, my gods,
Brinda,
your religion, my religion.
why are you trying
language
to
the
draw a
same
wedge?
root. This
Why?
is totally.
Isn't this Hindi versus non-Hindi?
provocative kind
Why
of
this
statement to
debate?
divide
Why
people.
this debate today?
Ambedkar talked of Sanskrit, the
Why
mother
this
tongue.
debate today,
Did they
Brinda?
accept it? Why did
Don't
they
we
accept
know-
Sanskrit mother tongue then?
Brinda, if about 45% of the
at the
population
outset,
speaks
I'm not
Hindi,
here-
and this is, if we're also, as I said earlier, the language of parliament officially recognized is Hindi, why? Why should we try and draw a wedge today?
why can't I quote Hindi?
If the language of the
Hindi
parliament is Hindi,
scholars, why
there
can't
is.
I quote
Please let me
British
respond,
scholars?
sir.
Are we living in British days that I'll quote Milton and Keats?
Okay, Ratan Sharda,
Should
let
I
her make
quote
a point.
Shakespeare?
Let her make a
Why
point,
can't
Ratan
quote
Sharda.
Kalidasa? Why I
No, you can, you
why
quote anybody.
I quote
Yes.
Nirala. So what is
Yes,
the
you
point of
please
that?
quote
A
anybody
seditionist,
from
you're
the
supporting
Hindi language,
seditionist
from
because
the
he has no
Tamil
agenda,
language, from
he
the
wants to
Kannada
go
language.
Bennett and
This
try
is
to
a
support that
rich
people.
history that we. Okay, let me respond.
We
My
agree.
response is,
Please
we are
implement
not
mother tongue for the
against
schools.
any
Please do
language.
that. Who's
What we are
stopping you?
against
It's a state
is
subject.
any kind of imposition. If you look at the new education policy, listen, yeah, just a minute.
Where is the imposition?
If you look at the new education policy, there is a sentence over there. Hold on, let me finish. You must give me 10 seconds to finish. Otherwise, you will not get what I'm trying to tell you. If you look at the new
Yeah,
education policy,
go ahead,
it talks
Vrunda.
about 3-language policy, which is great. A 3-language policy is great. A 5-language policy is even greater. It just amplifies our brains, and we know that we can express beautifully with 5-10 different languages. But it never talks of what language. Why is it that Hindi should be compulsory, but no other language is compulsory? That is the imposition we are questioning. Not anything else. A 3-language policy is fantastic. But when you say that you have to have Hindi as a compulsory language, then that is imposition, madam. That
No, the
is
government
imposition.
clarified on
No,
that.
Hindi is
Yeah,
not a
Very
compulsory
confused
language.
Because he's
No,
from the
one minute.
BJP.
Just hold on.
It's
No.
not
The new
compulsory.
education
Brinda.
Hindi is not a compulsory language.
That's exactly the
Modern-
problem. Vivek,
in
I'm just coming to
non-Hindi
you.
areas.
But let me
Talks
also
of
clarify
modern
that the
language.
government
What
actually
is
came
the
out
modern
and
language?
said that
Confusion.
out of the 3 languages, any
They are
languages can be
deliberately-
chosen.
Option is given to
It
choose
is
the
not
language,
compulsory.
whichever they want.
Having said that,
About
having said
learning
that,
This is
a
not
modern
so.
Vivek,
language.
can I please have
Which
Vivek
There
on
is
this
no
now?
imposition
One
of
second.
Hindi.
Having said
Would
that,
you
Brinda, the
consider
Yes.
discussion today is not about the
Yes, yes.
education
Hold
draft
on, let's-
policy. The discussion today is about Vaiko saying that why must
Correct.
I hear politicians talk in Hindi in parliament? It can either be in English or in Hindi. That is the language that has been said.
So that-
but
that
every
is
politician and MP is allowed to speak in their language. Can I please have Keshav also? It is actually the misnomers that are spread.
teaching.
And politicians
I
are doing a
absolutely
great
agree with you,
disservice
and
in the
let
side
Vaiko have
by
his own
spreading these
translator.
misnomers,
See.
Keshav, by saying, oh, Hindi
him
has
have
been
his
made
own
compulsory.
translator.
It isn't.
We need to
So what is the
understand one thing. Just
imposition?
because
What is the
Vaiko
imposition
said
in
this, let's not
parliament?
It is
make
not so.
Explain this
debate
to me.
between South and the North. Just because Periyar, spoke
If you
against
look
this
at the
in
language
1937,
policy,
let's not make this
you
into
do-
It is not so.
speaking debate. Why is this becoming political? I'll just ask you one simple question. In 2018, ahead of the World Hindi Conference, why would the government propose Hindi to be one of the official languages of UN? Why would they do it? If they feel we need one language to unify people from different caste, color, creed, religion, state, we have our national anthem, we have our national flag. Why would we require a language? That is why this is becoming political. In national education policy, during the debate, Shashi Tharoor very categorically said that as a third language option,
Our Prime Minister,
person
Mr.
from
Rajiv
Gujarat or
Gandhi,
Maharashtra
and he
learn
brought the
Malayalam or a
Constitution
Tamil.
of India.
They
When
wouldn't
he
do
was
it. And this is the
Hindi,
reason why it is
mostly
becoming
I'm talking
political.
about. Even today
Now,
in
if you
speech,
continuously
he
and
went and
consistently
told us
start
that
making
he will again
statements
burn the
and
Constitution.
frame
So
policies,
this guy is
this
a
will become
madman.
political,
He
right?
should be in prison. Unfortunately, our laws so weak.
Sir, if you look at Lok Sabha, you will find the debates in English, you will find the debates in Hindi, you will find the original version which could be a translated version from the regional language to English. But you will not find a document which translates English or Hindi to the regional language. So as a common man, if I don't understand Hindi or English, how would I know the budget? It is a fair question. How would I know what the Prime Minister is speaking? How would I know what my MP is speaking? I shouldn't feel less represented just because I can't speak in English or Hindi. That's a very valid question. I shouldn't feel less represented. Parliament is a place.
But you know what, Ranjit Keshav?
It's people.
Ranjit Keshav, India is a land of multiple languages and dialects.
What am I supposed
You
to
need to
infer?
understand that, Ranjit Keshav. You need to understand that India is a land of multiple languages and dialects, and that is why they've been zeroed on 2 languages for business purposes. No, Ranjit Keshav, I completely agree to your point.
To communicate
I completely
in
agree to
English
your
and
point of
Hindi
not being
and
able to
in
understand the
regional
budget,
language.
Ranjit.
But how would a debate happen?
But But the problem is that you've got to zero down on languages for business purposes, and that's been done in the country and it's been done constitutionally. We will have to agree to that. But now today, opening up this entire debate, you're trying to spark off a Hindi versus non-Hindi debate. Why today? Why do this?
Bengali language. When is the last time you had a quality debate in Oriya? That's what I would like to know.
Yes, because you understand Tamil, I would not. Ranjit Keshav, let's not get into a different debate, Ranjit.
In the vernacular, in the regional language.
Let me take that across to Muralidharan. Muralidharan, because you would understand a Tamil, I may not. I may understand Bengali, you may not. Are we going to get into that debate now? Are we going to get into that debate now from what Ranjit is saying?
Yes, we should get into that debate now.
So should we debate about Hindi and non-speaking Hindi people?
He's gone the Constitution of India.
Do you think a debate between South and the North is valid?
The Sri Lankan government is looking for him. This man is habitual offender and it's unfortunate that he's going to Rajya Sabha. It makes me cry. This is nonsense.
I don't understand.
So weak. It permitted him to go to Rajya Sabha. How? He's got a sedition case against India with all his anti-India ranting. He said,
I think you have spoken enough.
You know, Vaiko's precedents itself are under question. One second, Mr. Roach. One second, Mr. Roach. Don't come in light. Let me ask you a question. Ranjit Keshav just said, when was the last time you heard a quality Bengali debate? I don't understand. Is it the responsibility of the parliament to dish out quality Bengali debates? Is it the responsibility of the parliament to dish out quality Tamil debates? What is he talking about? It's not about which language you're debating in. You're in parliament to debate issues that matter to the country. Regardless of the language they get discussed in. And there are languages for businesses. I don't understand. What kind of logic is this, Royden Roach?
Not the question of parliament.
You want to listen to a quality Bengali debate, you go to a Bengali seminar.
Shows clear imposition of Hindi, which the policy clearly mentions. The education policy clearly mentions the imposition of Hindi as the main language. You cannot impose a language on somebody.
No, it doesn't.
Look at it. The entire nation, only 41% of the nation speaks Hindi.
You don't read it wrongly.
It is there. You read the education policy. You read the new education policy, gentlemen. I don't know if you have gone through it. You haven't gone through the new education policy. You go through the new education policy.
No, there is imposition.
Vivek Reddy is responding to that. Vivek Reddy is responding to that. And getting your facts right, sir. Vivek Reddy, respond to that.
Let me tell you.
Unfortunately, you want to mislead, and that is
people
wrong.
speaking Hindi, not more than 41, not in half of the
And
country speaks
also,
Hindi.
talking about the
And you are
parliament,
trying to impose a language on
let me
people.
tell you, talking about the parliament,
You have to,
in the
Mr.
parliament, all
Reddy,
languages seamlessly
in
move on.
Karnataka itself, only
Seamlessly.
12% of your people speak Hindi. Let me tell
The
you,
option in Karnataka is
only
left to the
12%.
parents,
You
sir.
get your facts
Because
right
of the
first.
Constitution
Do not
and
come and
judgment of
debate
the
without
Supreme Court.
knowing about it.
In
the
all over
Karnataka
India,
state, your own people
the
do not
option
like to
of
speak
language
Hindi.
is
You
left
know
to the parents.
We have
The
been to
parents decide the medium of instruction. You please don't come here.
Okay, let's not mislead the people who are watching this debate tonight. Royden Roach.
He looks at you and hated Mr. Reddy.
Royden, let's not mislead the people who are watching this debate tonight. When you speak of the education policy,
Yes,
Vivek
that is what is happening.
Reddy, is he saying the right thing? Let's just give it to our viewers. When he speaks about
When
he speaks about Hindi being imposed.
The biggest lies. The Supreme Court has said.
Let's just listen in. Let's just listen in.
What more do you want? The central
Royden, you need to
government
listen to
says
what Vivek
you
has to
make your
say.
choice. These are the options we give you. The options are given. The options are given to the parents. The central government policy says, here are the options. Go ahead and choose them. How can that be imposition? Voluntary choice cannot be imposition.
No, that's not even the subject of debate today. Okay, both of you have your say. Just break out of this. I just want to go back across to Anand once more. Anand, if you look at the statement that Vaiko has made, it is anti-Hindi. It seems that he's anti-Indian in the fact that he's holding, English literature, the English language above our own heritage. He says Sanskrit is dead. What is the need for a politician to talk like this? Wouldn't his statement actually be considered divisive and derogatory to a language, regardless, and not really the fact that the Hindi is being imposed on anybody? But my question to you also is, the only logical point I found in the debate was when someone says, I don't understand the names of schemes. Anand, is there a scope that perhaps the names of national schemes could be named in all regional languages so that all people from all regions could understand that?
Yes, of course. And you know, I want to make two very quick points out here. One, we should be grateful that Mr. Vaiko has only derided Hindi and not India. He is an out and out seditionist. He wants, you know, a breakup of India. So let's be clear about that. He is currently facing sedition charges. I am a free speech absolutist, so I'm against that, but that's besides the matter. Point number two, look at the shamefaced hypocrites. They don't have the guts to say that Dr. Ambedkar was wrong when he said the official state language of India should be Hindi. They don't have the guts, and they are following Periyar. Do they have the guts to condemn Periyar, who said, and I'm quoting him, "It is a shame that Gandhi statues exist in this country. We have a right to break each and every Gandhi statue in this country. We will burn every Gandhi photo. We will wait for 15 days, then we'll burn every Gandhi statue." So these are the people. Let's not go on that.
Let Saravanan
what I mean
respond
to say is, the
Saravanan
purpose
can
of a
respond to
language,
that,
either
but I don't want to
C++
get into that
or Hindi
ideological
or
battle.
Saravanan will not
Let's
respond.
stay focused
His
on the
only
Hindi
job is to
imposition
interrupt. He's a
charge.
hypocrite.
Can
I'm sorry,
Saravanan
Mr.
really
Saravanan.
explain that this
I
is
was
not
very
political
polite to
alone
you.
and this is
But you
actually
interrupt
Hindi
whatever was
imposition? Saravanan, you've got 30 seconds. You explain that. Don't go into the national education draft policy. We've debunked that. Please tell us how Hindi is being imposed in Parliament.
See, it's not about being Hindi being imposed. Mr. Vaiko has raised one pertinent question. Why the Prime Minister is not speaking in English when he could be understood by everybody from Kashmir to Kanyakumari?
Why should he?
Why is he sticking to Hindi? Is he pandering to Hindi majoritarianism? That is the biggest question he has asked. And when we were speaking about so many other things, a lot of them were speaking about all the other things, how Hindu is Hindi, all that. No. It's not about that. BJP has made one thing very clear. BJP wants to make India as a Hindu Rashtra. We are opposed to that. We are asking the BJP to celebrate the pluralism. We want them to accept that India is a multicultural society. There is no oneness.
So is Hindi part of your pluralism?
India is not a one country.
If you say why are you talking in Hindi and not talking in English, how is that pluralism? Please explain that to me, Saravanan. Ratan Sharda to come in for a final comment also, please. Saravanan, what are you talking? If you're saying don't talk in Hindi, how is that pluralism?
My simple point is
because Hindi is an
that
Indian
these
language.
people
You're
want a person to speak it.
See, when you are
these
trying to
people are
wipe
trying
out,
to make people speak in a language in which they are not comfortable. Mr. Modi speaks better in Hindi than the Gujarati. Let him speak in Hindi. If you are comfortable in English, speak in English. But tell me, are you trying to impose 3% people's language on majority of educated and uneducated Indians?
That is our argument.
First of all, tell me
English
which
is not
language
so.
You know what,
you are
Saravanan?
learning.
Saravanan, I think instead of the Hindi imposition, you should now be talking about English imposition.
Your children,
you should say that I will stop going to debates if I have to speak in English. I'll only speak in Tamil. Can you do that?
You are just
let me speak about
Can you do that, Saravanan?
Let me speak about English. See, none of the regional languages is a scientific language.
This is just about creating a fear. This is just about creating a divide, Saravanan.
Because studying Hindi alone, you cannot do that.
People want to speak.
You cannot do that.
You can't even speak decent
Hindi
English.
is not a scientific language.
That indecent English.
If India has to become a $1 trillion economy
that is a standard
by 2024 or by 2034,
where are you coming
we
from?
need English. Without English, India can never become a $1 trillion economy. So English
my dear friend, the world over, state nations have progressed in their mother tongue.
English was unite
Look at Japan, look at Israel, look at China. Your ideal China.
We know how to protect
look
our
at
mother tongue.
Russia.
You don't impose
all
your language on us.
Spain,
the problem
Italy,
starts
none of them
when
speaks
you
English.
impose Hindi on
you
us.
are colonial
That is the
people,
problem.
you are colonial mindset. You are ready to be slave to English.
But you are
I really think in today's day and age, if you start with this whole Hindi versus non-Hindi divide, you're only playing to your galleries. You're only playing to your vote bank. That is it. You're just trying to draw a wedge and you're just trying to rake up an issue, a debate, which is no longer a debate. So let's not do that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this debate number 2.
And moving on to the debate number